Hi, I'm Nick.
I'm Mike.
And this is our review of the Apple Watch Series 7.
So before getting into the nitty gritty of our running test, let's take you through the key new details about the Apple Watch Series 7. The headline one is that Apple has introduced larger case sizes compared to previous watches, which also brings bigger screens too. They still come in aluminium, stainless steel and titanium options, but now come in 41mm and 45mm case sizes, which is up from the 40mm and 44mm options on the Series 6. The biggest advantages of that is that you're getting bigger screens, offering around 20% more screen space than what we got on the Series 6. That means you can show off more of your stats, and it introduces features like a full-size keyboard and will better host more data-rich watch faces. Apple has given the Series 7 a new IP6X dust resistance rating to go with existing 50-metre waterproof rating, making it well protected against dust and better suited for off-road runs. On the running software and hardware feature side of things, not a huge deal has changed. You're still getting GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, QZ, SS and Beidou satellite system support to accurately track outdoor runs. There's an always-on altimeter again, and Apple's third generation optical heart rate monitor, which is the same included on the Series 6. Apple's new watchOS 8 is on board, though most of the new features are geared towards cyclists. Though you do still get access to a growing and rich collection of running apps which are available in the Apple App Store. Apple remains the same on battery life, quoting the same 18 hours as the Series 6. It's adding a new USB-C magnetic charger, which is distinguishable from the older charger by a silver trim. That will get you from 0 to 80% from a 45-minute charge. Price remains largely the same, with the 41mm Series 7 coming in at £369 or $399, and the 45mm is priced at £399 or $429 in the US.
All right, let's go into the run test. I've been using the Apple Watch basically for all my runs for a kind of month or so now. What have you found from this one, Mike?
Yeah, I've been doing a mixture as well. I've been testing other stuff, but I have been putting a lot of time in with the Series 7. And what I will say, it is very similar to the Series 6 in terms of experience I got. Yes, you've got that bigger screen, which I do actually like, and I have kind of got used to it and having gone and compared it back to the Series 6. But ultimately, things like kind of GPS performance, heart rate monitoring performance has been pretty solid for me, very similar to the Series 6. I still will say that I think the heart rate monitoring on this watch, or this smartwatch in general, is the best that I've used. In terms of performance. It's not 100% perfect, but it's definitely been the closest I've kind of run against Garmin HRM Pro Chest Strap with the Enduro, and it's kind of been pretty close in terms of that data. And the GPS as well, and I've run with a couple of Garmin's against it, and the GPS performance has been really strong for me as well. I think in terms of just a general running experience with the Apple Watch as well, the screen is easy to see. The data, I think, depending if you're using the native app or whether you're using kind of third-party apps, I think the screen is a kind of great place to kind of absorb that information. So for me, during the run test, it's been really solid, very similar to what I got on the Series 6.
Yeah, I completely agree with pretty much all of that. Like, the Series 6 was my main running watch for most of last year. Series 7 is now my main running watch. I use apps of it, and I will say with that is most of them, or a few of the ones I use, haven't managed to take advantage of the bigger screen yet, so you're just kind of getting a black ring around it. Hopefully that will all expand. Obviously with watchOS 8, those apps can also use the always-on screen. A lot of them haven't taken advantage of that yet, so that's all to come. It's just going to keep improving. I think agree completely on the heart rate. I still use a chest strap with it. You can pair a chest strap very easily with it, but it's among the best wrist heart rate monitors you're going to find, and the GPS is exceptional. And I mostly run with my phone, and it piggybacks off that, and I get incredibly clear GPS lines, right side of the street. All that has been more accurate than most of the watches I've tested. It's one of the reasons I use the Apple Watch actually, is because the GPS is so good. I've done a couple of tests without my phone, including a race. Again, the GPS is very, very accurate. So I do think that's a big plus point of the Apple Watch. The only thing I'll say about that is, if like me, you use third-party apps, you have to occasionally go in and use the native app for your runs in clear areas, because that's where it calibrates the GPS and the accelerometer. So sometimes if you're just using, basically you need the accelerometer working as well. For when you go periods where there's bad GPS, the watch will still be getting you accurate distance tracking by kind of using the accelerometer. So yeah, all in all, really love using it. All the same problems you have an Apple Watch. Battery life's very short, things like that. If you sometimes don't get the always on screen yet, the button system, you have to take a lap by double tapping in apps or pressing both buttons at once. You can't do a single button lap press even with any of the apps we're going to talk about later. But yeah, it's all those things you probably know about by now, the Apple Watch. But the actual, if you can live with all of that, you're getting a very good running experience, especially with a third-party app.
Yeah, and one little minor thing I wanted to actually talk about the running experience as well is just with the kind of race to wake. If you're not using kind of always on, we've used so many smartwatches like ourselves. You know, there's some really bad ones in terms of that race to wake, and with the Apple Watch, it's really good on that front. And I think it's a little thing that you kind of notice, and the little things you notice when you compare them to other smartwatches, and that's a little thing that I really appreciate, but kind of maybe it's undersold in terms of that experience of running with the Apple Watch as well.
Yeah, definitely. It's so responsive all round. Every button just works immediately. Turn on. Also, the always on screen on this is bright enough to read your stats, which is a lot of smartwatches and wearables that have an always on screen is too dim. You have to actually raise it. With this, you can just have a quick glance and you'll see your running stats on the go. Okay. So diving into the verdict, for me, this is, unless you're an Android owner, very clearly the best smartwatch for running.
I'd agree. I mean, I either used a ridiculous amount of smartwatches this year, last year. This one kind of still stands out for me, just in terms of the performance, just in terms of the experience of the software. Yes, the battery life's not great, and that is a major kind of gripe for me, but ultimately, if you're willing to kind of accept that, you are going to get a really good, accurate, reliable running experience from this smartwatch. And it's the reason why, there's a lot of reasons why it's still the best kind of smartwatch for runners, I think, anyway.
Yeah, and there are shortcomings in the native run tracking app. We haven't really talked about that much, just because we don't use it really. Once you start using the watch a lot, there are so many good third-party apps. So that actually is where it does have an edge on a lot of smartwatches. Even something like, let's say, the Sunto 7, which has a very strong native sports tracking app for a kind of smartwatch, it's still not actually as good as most of the third-party apps you can get on here with like maps and customizable workouts and all that kind of thing. But there are some really good other smartwatches that work with iOS and Android obviously as well. Yeah. We're both really impressed with what Huawei's doing in this area for one, right?
Yeah, definitely. So I am now kind of testing a lot of the Huawei watches, the Huawei Watch GT3, which we'll have a review on soon, and that's kind of got some really strong running features, a really significantly better battery life promised compared to the Apple Watch as well. Away from the Huawei, I think the Garmin Venue 2, which is one that we've mentioned before, you've got that kind of rich Garmin sports tracking. I think you're getting a little bit more battery life in terms of when you're using the always on display, and also you've got all those kind of Garmin staples, what you would expect from that experience as well, and you can kind of easily pair it to a heart rate monitor and other kind of external sensors as well. So that's a really strong option as well. I think it's also worth talking about the fact that, should you go for the Series 7, do you have to go to Series 7 for the best running experience on an Apple Watch? I think there's an argument to say actually you could still go for the Series 6. I think a lot of what you're getting in the Series 7 in terms of the performance you're getting in the Series 6 as well. That's something that I've seen. So if you kind of can maybe get it cheap and don't necessarily want that bigger screen, I think there's a really good running experience to get from the Series 6 as well.
Definitely, 100% agree with that. This is one of those generations in the Apple Watch where I'd be skipping it if I was a person who buys, updates to your Apple Watch, and Series 6 really is just as good in all fronts. And that was the first Apple Watch I really noticed a massive increase in GPS performance. So that's why I wouldn't go further back to the 5 if you can get that. Or if you have the 5, I think you will notice a good upgrade here. Another reason I don't really personally recommend the 3 and the Apple Watch 3 and SE. They're very good smartwatches. They don't really have the sensors, the always on screen, the kind of GPS improvement that you're getting on the high-end Apple Watch in the range, which is the 7 or the 6 if you have it. I think they're both really strong options. I think, either 6 or the 7 would be definitely my pick if you're looking at Apple Watches.
Yeah. Okay, so Nick, you are a big lover of Apple Watch running apps. So talk us through a little bit about what kind of apps are on offer at the moment.
Yeah, I definitely think if you're a runner, you're selling yourself short if you are using the native workout tracking instead of going for one of these apps. We've got a whole video just covering Apple Watch apps on the channel. You can check some more info there, but just to run through some favourites. Workoutdoors is the absolute king of the Apple Watch running apps. It's a full-fledged tracking app that basically turns this into like a Garmin or any other dedicated sports watch, but even better in some ways because there's so much customization, there's so much different kind of data, and there's really nice colour maps you can customize as well. There's routing on those maps. It's not turn-by-turn navigation, but you get a breadcrumb trail on a map, a really clear, colourful map that you can move with the wheel and the thing. So it's just a gorgeous app. I think it's £7. Might check that, but it's around £7 and it's one-time fee, and you're immediately turning this into a very, very good running watch for that fee. Definitely worth doing. Another good tracking app is iSmooth Run, which falls short on a few of those areas, but is another really good for customizing, getting your data fields, links up with Stride, the Stride Pod. There's the Stride app as well to link up with the Stride Pod. Although I think if I was a Stride user, it's a very good combo, the Stride and the Apple Watch. I would get the Pod and then pair it with iSmooth Run or Workoutdoors, which is about to add Stride support. And then there's just cool other apps on there as well. So I've just started using one called Athletic, testing it out, which basically gives you a similar idea to things like the Whoop and the Oura Ring. It gives you like a recovery rating each day based on your heart rate variability, and then an exertion rating. It will take your sleep tracking from the Oura Ring and feed that in and give you like a nice little one-stop shop to try and I would say the heart rate variability is not as good in that app because of the way Apple does it is just not as good, but there's lots of stuff going on in the app marketplace, is my point, that can make this just so much more than when you open it up, see the basic run tracking and go, this isn't a very good running watch. Actually, I never use that app apart from to calibrate occasionally, and really there's so much going on in here that will make it a really good running experience.
Cool, so there you go. There's a few kind of options for you if you're getting the Apple Watch and you're looking for some running apps outside the native app to use instead.
So that's it, guys. That's our review of the Apple Watch Series 7. Jump into the comments, let us know what you think. Will you be swapping for a dedicated running watch? The seagulls have gone mad.
When
Don't worry about them. Seagulls hate the Apple Watch. Anyway, like, subscribe, ring the little bell. Sorry, Mike, that's your bit.
That's my bit. Ring a little bell when you want to know about our latest videos, and yeah, we'll see you for the next Run Testers video.
We're going to get for these birds.